This video is called The Real Shoe Game because I learned the real shoe game a long time ago, and I realized it was not about the quantity, it's not how many pairs of shoes you own, it's really about the quality of the pair that you own. And it's not just about the quality. I don't mean in terms of like designer. It's more about just upkeep, how to keep it together. And I'll share this experience with you because it was very hurtful and embarrassing. And I wouldn't wish this on anyone. And I'm glad I went through it so that I can share this experience with you. And hopefully you won't have to go through it. And so I'm going to share the situation. I was in high school. And like many of you, single parent household where my mom was struggling, so I had to get a job and work after school to support myself and to get clothes and to pay for school supplies. So I'm sure you all understand what that's like. I'm sure many of you watching this video right now is probably going through that, and you're in high school and you're working. And so you're making your coins, and you're proud, and as you should be. And I was making my coins and I was proud, and I was finally able to buy a pair of shoes. So they were these beautiful pastel pink shoes, and I think the heel was about this big, not too high. I loved these pink pair of shoes. They were everything to me, and I thought I was just so beautiful in these pink shoes. You could not tell me nothing. When I put those pink shoes on, whew, I was everything. And the point is, I wore those pink shoes down to the ground. I mean, wore them out. I wore them out so bad that they were made out of metal, the heel, and all of the leather was exposed. It was going up like a banana peel. So just imagine a nail with no more black, heel at the bottom. It's just nail, and the pink leather is peeled up like a banana split. Horrible, Miss Girl. Both of the heels was like this. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I didn't see it. I saw it, but I didn't. And they were dirty because they were no longer, pristine and pink. They were like pink with black. Miss Girl. But for some reason, the feeling that I got from them, was like when I first bought them. And even though I can see something wrong, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't see it. I don't know if it was because I couldn't afford another pair, or if I just latched on to these so much. I really don't know. I think it's because I just didn't know any better. My mom, was busy doing her thing and struggling. She didn't take the time to teach me about, fashion or heels. I don't even think her mother taught her. I'm not for sure. So I can't blame her there. I didn't have a big sister. I didn't have any good girlfriends that knew, we were all doing our thing and just learning. And I just didn't know. So I had a boyfriend, and I was over at his house, and it was a bunch of us. It was him and his brothers and their girlfriends and their cousins, and we were all sitting around watching movies, eating pizza. And there I am with my pink shoes. All of us had our shoes off, but I had mine, parked over, somewhere, I guess, where everybody could see them. Because when I went to the bathroom, I come back and you can tell they were saying something about me. I felt very vulnerable and very insecure. I knew somebody had said something. It was a lot of snickering, So later on that night, I asked my boyfriend, and I was like, tell me what happened. I know somebody said something. What happened? So he wound up telling me that his cousin, who was a fashionista, and they were more upper middle class, so they had way more than I did. So she was, fashionista. She had her stuff together, and she was a little older than me, was dogging me out. Dogging me out, and rightfully so. She was saying that my shoes, need to be thrown in the trash. Who do I think I am? I think I'm so cute. I'm busted. Whatever. Back in the day, that was called ribbing. She was ribbing on me while I went to the bathroom. So I was a big joke. I was a big fat joke. And My feelings was hurt. I was embarrassed. And needless to say, when I got home, those pink shoes made the trash can. I threw them out. And from that day, I kind of had a mentality that anytime my shoes got, dirty or tattered or anything like that, I would just throw them out. So I still didn't have a hang on the shoe game, the real shoe game. I just didn't really know. I still didn't know. I just knew I was embarrassed and I didn't want to be embarrassed anymore. So every time my shoe didn't look like how it looked when they came out of the box, I would throw them away. So that was just throwing money away left and right. It wasn't until I moved to New York City and happened to be going through Port Authority on the second level, and I saw this shoe repair shop. And all the men were sitting there getting their shoe polished. And again, here we go. I don't know. I don't, know the difference. I don't have an understanding. I'm just assuming the shoe repair shop is for men and for men to get their shoe polished. Until I started seeing all of these high heels. I'm like, it's women's stuff. What's going on in there? So I go in there and I ask the guy, I'm like, what do you do with women's purses and shoes? I got schooled. He told me how he repaired, leather goods, how he can fix your heel, he can replace it, he can put Goodyear tire at the bottom of your shoe to replace the other rubber so that your shoe lasts longer. That's the real shoe game, girl. A shoe repair specialist is the real shoe game, okay? When I tell you I had a bag of shoes that was getting ready to make the trash, I went back home, got that bag, brought it to this professional. I said, how many can you save? Honey, he saved my whole entire bag. I got new heels, I got new rubber, took care of my scuffs, cleaned my suede. I mean, it was so many pairs of shoes that I was about to throw out that he saved. But the other thing that he really taught me was European high heels. They can make them 8 inches tall. You can get those suckers shaved, honey, to 6 inches or 4 inches. It depends on the model. But he showed me how so many of my heels were so high up in the back that it was hard for me to walk. So he would level them down so that I could walk. Ooh, Miss Girl, I was a stiletto queen in New York for a long time, thanks to this guy. So again, I just wanted to share that with you, that you don't have to have a lot of shoes, but you do have to take care of your shoes. So again, like me, you could be in high school and maybe you just don't know because no one ever pointed this out to you. And you shouldn't get your feelings hurt and you shouldn't be embarrassed because of that. I just wanted to also go back and say, just being as adults, if you know someone in this situation, maybe pull them to the side and tell them in a very loving and comforting way. And try not to dog them out behind their back, unless you're a hater. If you're a hater, then do that. But I think even going back into my high school situation, I feel like maybe she wasn't hating, but maybe she just didn't know how to approach me because she also was in high school. And, sometimes you don't want to embarrass people, or sometimes you don't know how to tell people certain things. The good thing about this video is you can share it. Maybe if you want to give somebody a little hint, send them a few videos and add this one in it, and hopefully they'll see it. Be very clever, be very kind to the next girl, because, sometimes we just don't know. So hopefully you would take that and you would be kind and learn from my mistake.